paper, which is a scientific research paper. Then whenever you are writing the scientific research paper, so what different types of sections should be there in the scientific research paper?
In the restrictions, choose a modest amount of data to present in each section. Clarity, it should be easy to read and comprehend. Use a proper grammar, phrasing, and style while writing the research paper. Next, organization of the research paper. Follow the sections in the research composition paper, that is introduction, methods or materials, results, discussion. This is called a IMRD format of any research or general research paper, or any research paper can be represented like this IMRD, or some research paper or some journal gives a specific guideline about these sections of the research paper. Okay. Next, we'll see the structure of the scientific research paper. Scientific research paper consists of these sections like introduction, methods, results, and discussion. These are normally all the journals or all the journal papers consist of this section. Some journal papers also, some journals add some different sections. Okay, for example, medical journals are there. Their writing style and their sections will be different, but almost all the journal papers, okay, scholarly or peer reviewed journal papers supports for these type of sections. So first is a title, abstract, sorry, title, author, abstract, and keyword. This would be the part of our paper. Then we need to write about the introduction, then method section, result section, and discussion and conclusion. So these are the major parts of your research section. So whatever the informations I have collected, I have chosen a topic or I have selected a topic. I have done the experimentations on the selected topic. I have got the results. I have got data. Now I want to put all these information in particular sections of my research, and all the sections presented here. So I need to present my collected data into method section. I have to put my collected or generated results into a result section, and whatever the whole information I have studied, I have gathered, I have collected, I have analyzed, I have got by experimentation result while doing the experimentation. So I need to put all these things in these sections. So it is also important which data we should keep at what location or at what section is also important. So and writing the content or text for all these sections that we will see now. So what is a good, first is a title. So what is a good title? Good title is a title which consists of the fewest possible words that adequately describe the content. So number of words that we are going to use to describe our title should be a few, minimum, and it should describe the content adequately. It should describe the content. Some examples of the titles are like this. For example, a software. Okay, a software is the one title. It can be, it's a bad, this is not a good title, or it's a bad title. Can't say bad, but it's not a good title. Okay, this title can be reframed like this: a software-based control system for. Second, wireless network. My research paper title is wireless network. Okay, this type of title will not be accepted by any journal. Okay, so it does not convey meaning or does not give any information related to the selected topic, what you are going to do or what will be your research component that we are going to add. Okay, so this can be reframed like this: reducing the congestion in wireless network. This will be one of the title, a reframed title. One more example: partial redundancy elimination in presence of critical edges for practical imperative programs with recursion and large number of functions and calls through function pointer. Okay, this type of titles are also not will not be accepted by journal. So this can be reframed. This title, whole title can be reframed like this. Okay, partial redundancy elimination in extreme situation. So these are the some way how one can construct or reframe or create a title. Next, tips to create a title: avoid making the unnecessary lengthy title. Just we have seen one example. Avoid using abbreviations in the title. These are some tips. Use words that create a positive impression. Limit yourself to a 15 to 10 to 15 substantial words. Then devise a phrase or ask a question. Then use the current terminology in your field of study. These are the some tips we can use for while preparing the title for your research paper, because title is very important component in your research paper, because most of the readers read the title. Most of the reader will not read your whole content. Okay, by reading only the title, readers should able to understand what you have done, what contribution you have done, what problem you have proposed, and what different solutions you have provided in your research paper. By all these answers one should get while reading the particular paper title. So this is the first step that we have to adopt while writing, how we should take care while writing the research title. Then list of authors, how to write a list of authors and main addresses. These are the one of the component part of the your paper. Then we need to mention the appellations. Then order in which authors are listed depends on the following criteria: means contribution done by particular author, seniority of the author, and whether the name of the authors alphabetically represented. Okay, so contribution of first author will say indicate that it is a this author contributed, or main contribution for this research paper is from the author number one, like that. So tips to write the list of authors and addresses: avoid abbreviation in the name of institutions and organizations. For example, we cannot use a Department of Computer Engineering. Instead of this, we can use a Department of Computer Engineering. So number of authors. Sometimes your student ask me, sir, how many number of authors we should use in a IEEE paper or any conference paper. Okay. Principal investigator or main researchers, there will be unlimited number of unlimited authors will be there, but co-authors limit is there, that is 6. Okay, maximum number of 6 co-authors will be there in one research paper. Then next part is the abstract. What is the purpose of scientific abstract? So essentially an abstract should reflect all the parts of your research paper. It is very important. There are 4 main parts in which you need to answer the following questions. That, for example, what problem did you study? What method did you use to study the problem? What were your key findings? Then what did you conclude based on these findings? And what are the broader implications of your results? So whenever you start to write a paper and you come at the point of writing an abstract section, so we should answer or try to find out the answers for all these questions and summarize all these answers in the abstract section in logical way also. Once you answered all these things. Again, you have to keep the limit of words. Okay, number of words used for the writing of answers of all these questions. Okay, it should not be a 2 page or 3 page. Abstract should not be a 2 or 3 page. So one paragraph, it should be a one paragraph between 50 to 30 words. Okay, about it's not again fixed for number of words for each journal. Different journal can use a different type of sorry, different number of words. Okay, it is not fixed that only all the journals will use only this 50 to 300 words number of words for the abstract section. Then tips for writing the abstracts. Some journals are now encouraging enhanced abstract. Means one can use a graphical as well as video abstracts for generating or writing your abstract sections. Abstract is nothing but your advertisement for your article. A clear abstract will strongly influence if your work is considered further. So abstract is very important because it is an advertisement for your article. Means that indexing services of journals uses this or use this section or use this content for indexing your paper once it is published. So it is very important while take care while writing the abstract. Then keywords are tool. So whenever you write your paper, one of the section in your paper is a keyword. In that keyword, we should use the keywords, and these keywords are also used for indexing purposes. They are labels. Keywords are labels for your paper. Means, if I have 8 pages of paper, within that 8 pages, most of the or most very important word that I am most frequently using in my research paper. Okay, this type of words will become as a keyword for your research paper. So these are the labels for your manuscript. Be a specific field or subfield. Uh, for example, we can use keyword as a abbreviation, that is DNA, but it should be a very well known or very most commonly used abbreviation should be there. Also, you should refer guide for authors while preparing a keyword. So number of keywords while writing a research paper. Try to keep the number of keywords minimum 2 and maximum 6. Okay, this is the one of the sample format. Once you enter the title, once you created that, you have entered your author names and addresses of the author name, then abstract, and then keywords. And this is the first page of your journal paper. After publishing, this will appear. This will appear like this, and these whatever the page shown here is very important part of your research paper, because this is your first page, as well as it all these terms are used or all these contents are used for indexing purposes or for indexing your paper in different types of journal. So this is or take care of while writing the title, preparing the abstract, preparing the title, and preparing the keyword. We should use specific words. We should use minimum words, and within a minimum or words, you should describe your paper appropriately, or it should describe a whole content to the reader. So most of the readers are going to read, okay, only this part of your paper. So take care about this thing while writing this thing again and again. uh, Read it, show it to your guide, show it to your colleague, and get the suggestions from them, and then rewrite the content again and again. But while rewriting the content, the meaning, okay, final meaning of the content or outcome should not be changed. Take care about that. So use appropriate words while describing this section. This is very important section. Once you Ready with the abstract title and keywords. Next part is the introduction. What does this introduction should contain? The content of the introductions are nothing but answers for all these questions, like what is the problem, why is it interesting, why is it hard, why hasn't it been solved before, what are the key components of my research, sorry, approach and results. It also includes the specific limitations of the existing system, as well as whatever you are going to do and what you are unable to do, or you will be unable to do. This thing we have to mention in the introduction section. So writing a text for or describing this section, try to find out the answers for all these questions related to your chosen topic or selected topic. And again, try to keep minimum words, or try to use a minimum word while describing all these answers or while describing this section. So in this section, we are going to put the context of research. We are going to find out the gaps. So what gaps we have found out by doing the literature survey. So we have to mention the gaps in the research. Then the state the purpose of the work, as well as we can include hypothesis. We can include in this section aims and rationale of the study. Then how to organize whatever the collected information, then how to organize this collected information in your research paper. So first I started to write, for example, here I am starting writing a start to write a introduction section here. So in that first paragraph or first paragraph should consist, it should consist background information, then second paragraph motivation, then key primary literature works. This section or this content should be there. So here we collected different types of the section information, but how to organize these different type of collected information or collected data or into this section. So we should maintain the logical flow also. So tips for writing introduction: use highly relevant sources, use a keyword from your title to focus on exact problem addressed in your study, include clear purpose statements or hypotheses, use past and present tense while writing the your introduction section. We should take care of the which tense we are using while writing your introduction section. Past and present tense both are active or passive wise, depending upon the context we can choose this type of writing style. The next section is method. In this section, describe how the experiments were done. Method adapted to do the research means describe how experiments were done. Method to do the experiment. Why experimental procedure were chosen. So we should describe why particular method you have adopted to do your research. Explain methods of analysis means different type of methods are used. Do the analysis and compare the different types of methods and put that this method is better, and then we can choose particular method for your experimentation. Explain how results were analyzed. In this section we can explain how the results were analyzed. So answer is finding the answers or information related to all these points. So whatever the information collected, we have to again organize these logically. So how to organize the method and material section. First, material used. We should write the material used first. Then how material were prepared. If you are preparing the data, okay. For example, image processing project is there. I myself or myself I am capturing the images. So which camera I have used, what were the specifications of that particular camera, in what environmental conditions I have captured these images. Like that, all the information we can write here in how material were prepared, how measurement were made, Then statistical methods of analysis we can explain in this section. The method section is only about 10% of your paper. So based on that, try to use quantitative and qualitative details in your method section. Qualitative as well as quantitative details in your method section. Okay, once method section is ready, then we have done the experiments, we have got the results now, and this is very important section in your research paper, writing the results, because we are going to present your results, and based on that results we are going to conclude, and we are going to say something about contribution, what contribution you have done, which is your contribution. So writing of this result section is also very important. In this section, present finding in same order as methods. Whatever the methods we adopted for doing the experimentation and the results we got over there, we have to find present them in that order only in the result section. Present data in figures and tables. So try to use the figures and tables to present your data. Report on data collections and participants. Report data relevant to research questions, and gather all these informations, and you try to write this information in your result section. When representing the figures and tables, use the present tense. These are the writing how to write a research paper. I'm using the text or writing the result section. So whenever you are referring to particular figure used in your research paper, and that you are describing in your result sections, at that time use the present tense. When you discussing event of experiments study, use a past tense. Passive or active voice, passive or active voice are acceptable to be consistent. Okay, we can use a passive voice as well as active voice writing style or result sections, but be a specific data guidelines for the result section. If you are writing a result section in your research paper, for number use two significant digits. Okay, for example 7.07, not use like this. Never use a percentage for very small samples. Okay, for example 1 out of 2. Okay, 1 out of 2 instead of 50%. My result obtained is 50%. Means what I got, my result is 50%. So instead of writing a 50% result in my result section, one should write 1 out of 2. Like that, we should follow these small tips while writing the result section. If your results are in the form of mean, standard deviation, okay, use a normally distributed data. Use a median and inter-percentile range to report skewed data. So these are the some guidelines or tips while preparing your or writing for the result section. Once you have written the data or results in a in a result section, then observe the results, observe the data, observe the diagrams or figures used in the result section, and based on that what results, interpretation of the results will come under this section, that is a discussion and conclusion. What you have obtained, based on that we are going to make the conclusion, or we are going to draw the conclusions, or we are going to interpret the data, meaning of that data, criticize whether you are done better than the previous one. Okay, so what you have achieved, what you are unable to achieve. Okay, all these things we can include in this section. Some tips for writing the discussion and conclusion. First, focus on most important and then move to what is less important. So always you keep a logical flow while discussing your writing a discussion about your result. That most important result, say something about the most important result. Suppose my result is find achieving a more accuracy. So write something about the accuracy first, and then while achieving this accuracy, I also got the another parameter improved over there. Like that, you should explain your discussion sections. Start with analysis of results and move to the implication of extension of research. So while writing the discussion section, start with the analysis, put your own results, write something about your results, then compare your results with the previously presented research papers result, and also compare your results with the different parameters and start with the analysis of results and move to the implications of the extension of the research. Try to put what you are unable to do at this stage and what will be the future possible research outcome or research component we can add into this field. We can write these things in the discussion section. uh, Use the present and past tense while writing a discussion section. Don't be a too broad impact of this research. Set some limitations. So we have to put some limitation because because of these conditions I was unable to do this experiment. Okay, so write some limitations. So always there will be technical limitations or different environmental limitations will be there. Technical limitations will be there. Your own limitations will be there. Okay, this type of limitations, or when we are doing experiment using particular specification of the device. Okay, so these will be the limitations of my research. Means I used this this laptop with this configuration, and because of that it was not doing well. So if I use a different hardware or okay high graphic GPU unit, high graphical processor, then the result will be improved. Like that, we should add the things in your discussion section so that in this domain, if the pure researchers in future are going to do the research in the domain, they will get idea and they will continue with that point and they will add or contribute in this domain, and which will be helpful for our society. So last section of the research paper is references and bibliography. List of sources that you actually cite in your paper is a references. Means number of references that you have used. Okay, all the references or all should be cited in your uh, paper. These are called as the references. And bibliography, list of all related publications you have referred to while collecting the information or reading or studying the domain related issues. While writing the references and bibliography section of your research paper, do not use too many references. Okay, unnecessarily do not use too many references. Try to avoid self citations. Avoid excessive citations of publication from the same regions. Means I am only do not use try to use a IEEE paper. Okay, and in or only do not try to use a Springer. Only do not try to use a science direct journals papers. Okay, so try to gather the information from all the type of resources available in the world. When you are referencing the URL, you have to put the access. When you that particular website access, we have to write date, at what date you access to that site. Follow the style specified by the publisher, or these are the general guidelines, or one can adopt the guidelines for while writing the references and bibliography suggested by the publisher. But reference section must consist of these things, that is a title. Okay, at least this content must be there in your references and bibliography. Title must be there, name of authors must be there, journal or proceeding name must be there, publisher must be there, and year also is a required thing in your reference section. So whenever writing a reference section, minimum these things must be there. Or you should follow the guidelines provided by the different journals. Whatever I am telling here, these all are general guidelines while preparing the text for your journal paper. Okay, different journal papers suggest different style of writing. You can refer those things. All these presented guidelines are only general guidelines. These are not specific guidelines for the specific journal. Okay. Now, one of the component of your research paper are like tables and figures and equation. So how to prepare the figures, how to prepare a table, and how to write the equation. Preparing the figures are the image, graph, diagram, etc. So we have to give the name to the figure, which is called as a caption. While writing the caption, you should take care of that sentence case must be adopted while writing the caption for the figure. Figure should be titled in informative manner. Means whenever you are writing or giving caption to the figure should that caption should be informative. Means it should give the answer for the question like what, where, and when. For example, one of the examples shown here is for figure number 3, number of citations error in undergraduate papers at Mumbai University 2005 to 2015. Means it should give where, Mumbai University, then when, 2005 to 2015, and what it's showing. Okay, what it's showing. This type of the while constructing your caption or preparing the captions or writing captions for your figure, take care about these